Hello everyone. I'm Andy from ThinkMo. I'm currently teaching CCIE courses. From today on, I'm going to share with you a little bit about CCNA, CCNP, CCIE related technologies. Our topic today is what is ISIS? ISIS short for Intermediate System. To Intermediate System. It's called the Intermediate System. To Intermediate System Protocol. ISIS based on OSPF algorithm. Link State Routing Protocol. It is also an internal gateway protocol. Similar to RIPEIGRP OSPF. These agreements are uniform. It belongs to the internal gateway protocol. Let's call it an intermediate system. Equivalent router. They're actually the same thing. Let's start with the network model. These are the two models at this stage. Well, there's actually only one at this stage. The TCP/IP network model. That's what we're using now. OSI's 7-layer network model. In the early days it was defined by ISO. Except right now it's just a model. Right now, none of US are based on the OSI model. To design the network. And then design some equipment accordingly. TCP/IP is still dominant. In TCP/IP, a device capable of providing root addressing. It's called a router. So OSI has a device that can do that. It's called an intermediate system. So the intermediate system goes to. The intermediate system protocol is named this way. It's essentially a router-to-router protocol. So what is the difference between ISIS and OSPF? Let's compare it here with OSPF. In TCP/IP, OSPF works on top of IP. This is the IP protocol in TCP/IP. It requires an encapsulation of the IP header. If there is no IP encapsulation, it's not going to work. This is what we call OSPF. OSPF is divided according to the network hierarchy. It works above the network layer. Somewhat similar to TCP at the transport layer. UDP is a protocol type. ISIS based on the OSI 7-layer model. A protocol called CLNP. It's called Connectionless Network Layer Protocol. CLNP protocol and IP protocol. It's an equal case. It's the IP protocol in TCP. That's about ISIS. It works at the link layer. That is, Layer 2 routing protocol. It does not require the encapsulation of IP. You can work independently. That ISIS and IP protocol. It's actually an equal situation. Is equivalent to the level of OSPF. It's going to go down a little bit. It's the next level of OSPF. Is equivalent to the IP protocol. You can work independently. So let's talk a little bit about ISIS. We haven't heard much about ISIS. But at this stage, especially like Cisco, start slowly against ISIS. Some attention has been paid. In the network. Start to gradually come into contact with. Learned about the protocol on ISIS. So why wasn't it popular in the early days? We need to explain the ISIS protocol. We all know. It's for OSI. CLNP Network Layer Protocol. Early due to CLNP protocol not popular. It's not as widely used as IP. Like now is always IP. Ethernet environment. CLNP is not widely used. Get short shrift. So say. Design based on CLNP protocol. Indicates the ISIS routing protocol. There's no use for it. So I was gradually left out. But there are some benefits to ISIS. For example, strong scalability and fast convergence. About its advantages. And we'll do that in a future video. give you the corresponding explanation. There are certain benefits to ISIS. Compared with OSPF, it converges fast. For example, in the process of establishing OSPF neighbors, it takes a long time. Transition to the appropriate state. And there are many different states. There are also many types of LSAs. Learned in IP stage. There are 123,457 types of LSAs. There are only 2 types of ISIS. But it's called LSP. Specific details will be introduced later. That's because CLNP is not widely used. So it leads to ISIS. It is not widely used. Late because it has some advantages. Therefore, ISIS Routing Task Force. The ISIS protocol IS extended. Later on in the course of the course, you'll see extensions to TLVS, so that it can support both the original CLNP protocol. It also supports the IP protocol currently in use, like IPv4, IPv6, and so on. If there's a new protocol, it can still be fixed based on the existing structure. Design an ISIS that can support a certain protocol. So after being re-extended, this IS called Integrated ISIS. Why is it called integration? IPv4 and IPv6 are supported. Things like O, S, P, and F don't scale as well. Some of you may have heard of O, S, P, F, v3. It just has some working characteristics. With O, S, P, F, v, and 2. But it is not developed based on OSPF v2. It's totally different. However, OSPF v3 was modeled after OSPF v2. It's going to be redeveloped. ISIS does not. Just on the basis of what it was supposed to be. Just upgrade and expand. So we're at this stage. What IS used IS called the Integrated ISIS Protocol. That's it for today. If there are any other skills you'd like to learn, feel free to leave a message. Or send me a private message. If you're interested in what I'm talking about, hope to like and subscribe more. Thank you. See you next time.